So tell me about when you started your artwork. How did that start?
I don't know. Just started. I wasn't. Oh, I always consider myself an artist, meaning yeah, I'm just artistic, but because I got to create shit, whether it's painting a wall or putting stickers on the door, you know, right? Mm-hmm. Or even when I paint a room, I want to paint it different. But yeah, I pretty much was here. So we might have to lie about that and make it sound like, well, no, why? Why? I've been here only like 4 years, though, right, or 5 years. I work at the hospital almost six, and I lived here about a year before that. Before that, I've been coming here since 40, 50 years, but never had even spent the night at this house. Before the hostel, I was here about a year, I think. And then I went to the hostel. Michael said, come up with this when you guys opened it. I went there. 6 years later, kicked out, came here. That's when I started making pictures. But the first ones, you're right, were in my dad's office when we were, I believe, at 5900 building. Because, man, we had a lot of offices now. It's weird. I can go around this town. We had the main one was over here, Miller Lake, for years. And like on the United Nations, man. I wasn't making pictures then, Nazi. And this is in between ships, you know, at the time. Because I never worked for my dad rather than that. My first job was, like the winter of '83 would have been 5 cities in Japan and 2 islands Indonesian. The 5 cities in Japan were Tokyo, of course. Before Nikai, it was Haneda Airport. That's rare because no one used it. Now they got that island. Anyway, yeah, Tokyo, Osaka, second largest. Nagoya's third largest. Then Himeji and Kitakyushu, Tabata, Fukuoka, the shipyard, Shimonoseki, so all around Japan. And then 2 years later, I went to Ryukyu's, which is Okinawa, Naha Porto, and fucking Gate 2 Street. They have a Florida bar there that I got arrested. After Japan, I was in Hawaii for 5 months on those indigestion and constipation, the independence and the Constitution. Like I say, to give the cap, did not go too far off, but they became artificial reefs because they salvaged the Constitution by sailing it over Tahiti after they gutted it. But of course, it conveniently sunk. They sunk it on purpose because they didn't want to pay to salvage it. On the way to Tahiti, and I did not make that cruise. I wanted to. And the Transpac that I was garbling about in the last story, I never finished either because I was rambling. Look, Trans-Pacific would be from the Far East, which is ironic. From the Far East to get to the West Coast, you have to head east. But from Hawaii, that's why they call it Midway Islands, to San Francisco or LA is not Trans-Pacific. It's halfway, right? But anyway, they call it a Transpac. I did that too. But okay, so Hawaii for 5 months on the cruise ships, and I went back the next year on the cable ship. But okay, after that then it got crazy. Then I went to LA to ship out, flew out to the Philippines, Manila, and grabbed a tramp tanker that was a rust bucket, man, where a woman jumped overboard and left a note in the South China Sea and killed herself. And had a husband on board. She was a woman in the engine department feeling like a victim. But anyway, yeah, so that was Guam, Ghana Bay, great place, man. Michael's for the Coconut Olympics, like when I was a child with a coconut regatta. That's in Guam. Singapore. Where else? In the Carolina Islands, in the Marshall Islands. Shit, I don't even remember the name of that port, man. God damn it, not Taipei, Taiwan. I've never been, believe it or not, in the Sea of Japan, which is Korea, very cold. Oh, no, wait, except for Incheon. But yeah, I've never been to Busan. I've never spent time in Korea, which I wish I did. But the Philippines, definitely. Singapore, definitely. Briefly Hong Kong, which I wish more because they're the best place for restaurants in the world. Anyway, okay, so let's go back to now. We'll go to the, I don't know much South America. Except for, well, I've been in Santa Marta. Yeah, I don't know. Central, I've been everywhere. Panama many, many, many times. Through the canal, too. Well, only the canal. Canal has some good stories. What's next? And then Colombia's this side. This side is Nicaragua, right? I went through the border on land even. And they took our books, man. Yeah, Sandinistas. That was the Iran-Contra days, man. Not Iran-Contra, the Sandinista shit. Yeah, I was on the ship, matter of fact. I'm telling stories, girl. This is a good one. The palace, when they took Noriega from Panama, I know the judge from Church in the Grove that tried him and put him in Chrome detention. And I was on the Crowley ship out of Fort Lauderdale that carried his containers of the palace belongings. Not his wife's shoes. We would have needed another ship, right? Crossover. In the Caribbean side, which I love, my grandfather's from the Yucatan. You know, Veracruz, what do you call that place? Progreso, Cozumel, Belize, poor man's Belize, Isla Mujeres. Middle East only, I did almost a year in the Persian Gulf, but all we did was go to, we do a month in the middle, do a survey, and our 2 ports of call were, I did get over it one day or a week, I guess, because we go in for a week. And what is that at the top? Oman, yeah, right? Oman's at the top. What do they call that port, man? Yeah, man, the gunboats came after us there. But yeah, the main ports were Bahrain, we do a week and go out for a month, come back. Or Dubai, UAE, United Arab Emirates. Dubai, had a good time. When they had Fretcon Charlie with the military, the hotels that you prohibited, that's where I would go. And the Filipino whorehouse, El Delfin, I recommend it. Because everything else is very expensive. Don't go in the desert to Prince of Malimani's fucking the circuit. He's got some club out there, and it's like $300 5 minutes for an Amazon woman, or a woman from Monrovia, Esotonia. They're gorgeous. I got an Air Italian girl there. Where are you staying? I'm on a cable ship in fucking Bahrain at the military docks. I don't think so. What's the worst port in the world? Djibouti. That's in the mouth of the Suez Canal from the Indian side. Diego Garcia, 150 miles south of Bombay, is BIOTC, British Indian Ocean Territory Colonies. All they got is a bowling alley. It's an atoll of rocks, military. Nothing there, man. It's like they say, even in the desert there, Saudi Arabia, you know, there's a whore behind every tree. There's no trees here, though. That's the point. But they do have foreign service workers. And they're hypocrites, man. They're on the beach filming. Yeah, Germany is very much like the U.S., except they speak German. They took over, well, another story. Fuck it, man. I've had my morning steel reserves, not the silvers, the fruity ones. Yeah, Germany, I prefer. I think Hamburg's like, Hamburg's my favorite, man. Berlin is like New York, Hamburg's like Chicago. Detroit is like Frankfurt, and I don't care for that. But Hamburg is dynamite. Reeperbahn. Bremerhaven was our port, and Bremen, where Beck's beer is. So Germany, I know pretty good. Our friends from Miami are in Austria. He's in Milburn. And that's by the sea. I've been in the Black Sea too. That was where we went to Odessa, Yuzhny, and my favorite, man, pirate days before, really pirates, man. That's probably where I got my pirate stripes for sure. Constanta, Romania. Confederate money, the Black Sea Hotel. A pack of cigarettes and Irish Spring will pay for the taxi and the ferry boat. It's like a marina for ships. They're all moored up against each other. I don't know how the first one gets out. They got pirate. I mean, seriously. Honestly. Pirate. You're talking about pirates? You get on the ferry boat, there's fucking guys with like a peg leg and a parrot on his shoulder. They got fucking sheep carriers, which you never see. That's a Middle East thing. A ship that's got like cages of sheep and it smells like a fucking grain carrier, which are pretty smelly, the tanks of old grain. But that's Africa, which I've never been to. I tried to get to the, what do you call it, the Amazon and all that. I have to go to the Gulf Coast to ship out on it. Never got it. But yeah, in Europe, Germany is very, I love it. England, of course, which should be my kindred spirits. There's a Griffiths town, my namesake, in the borough of Turriffin in Wales. And that's, it's very small, only 5 pubs and 2 churches. Of course, Southampton was our port, Felixstowe, Isle of Man, the White Cliffs of Dover, London Town, Class City Rockers, God Save the Queen, all that jazz. Go next door, very good place, is De Bruges, Belgium, with the locks. Very nice place. Villages are gorgeous. France, I was at the Martigues du Festival, and I paid people off so I could get out of work and took a train to Marseille, right when an aircraft carrier came in. Scored some hash and had 2 girlfriends. Can't leave out the best of the best, man. Where do you get hash and weed and cafes now? Ever? And I went to the grand opening of the Magic Mushroom Gallery is Rotterdam and Amsterdam. Holland is fantastic. I would move there if they had a good beach. Spain, on the med side, Algeciras. See the ports. I don't get to see the best stuff. Like I've never been. Oh, Italy. I flew into Rome to catch a ship in Naples. So you got Italy, Spain. Oh, Greece and the Med. Oh my God, the Greek Isles are what they cracked up to be. Athens, Piraeus, at sunset in the Acropolis. Forget about it. It's like rock concerts, man. Just name it, I probably went.